Children, good morning all. I am here today to teach you English poem. I want to teach you first English poem. By Saturday we will complete it, and again I will start with social studies new lesson. So today I am going to teach you the poem called Vocation. Vocation, not vacation. Vocation. Vocation means a kind of work, occupation. In social studies, you come across the word called occupation, main work of a person. Vocation means main career of a person, main work which he wants to be in his life is called vocation, which needs lot of hard work and dedication. The work or an occupation of a person which needs lot of dedication or devotion, showing interest in doing the work sincerely is called dedication and sincerity. Understand? And lot of hard work is needed. That is vocation. My vocation is being a teacher. Teacher's vocation I am taking up. I took up. I mean, I am working as a teacher where I need lot of dedication and hard work. Every day I have to prepare to teach you. Every day I have to learn new things. Understand? So that is called vocation, not vacation. Vacation means holidays. It is vocation. Vocation means what? A special kind of work which you want to do. Like a painter, poet, writer, novelist, actor, player, whatever you are, you need lot of dedication and focus on that particular work, and you have to put in lot of efforts, hard work. Then only you can be an occasional one who is expert in that particular field. It is vocation, right? So what is the poem? Let us see. This poem is written by Rabindranath Tagore. Who was Rabindranath Tagore? He was the great poet of our country, who wrote poems in Bangla and in English also. Great poet. He got the Nobel Prize for Literature. He is the first recipient of Nobel Prize from India. Got highest award, I can say. And he established Shantiniketan school in nature school, I can say. So he wrote this poem. Let us study. What is this vocation? Vocation means, already I told, not vacation. Vacation, holiday. Change of one letter, O and A. If you write A here, vacation. Vacation means holiday. Vocation. Vocation means a special kind of work you do which needs lot of dedication and hard work. Okay, so let me read the lines of the poem first. Then I am going to explain you one by one. When the gong sounds 10 in the morning and I walk to school by our lane, every day I meet the hawker crying, "Bangles, crystal bangles." There is nothing to hurry him on. There is no road he must take, no place he must go to, no time when he must come home. I wish I were a hawker, spending my day in the road, crying bangles, crystal bangles. When at 4 in the afternoon I come back from the school, I can see through the gate of that house the gardener digging the ground. He does what he likes with his spade. He soils his clothes with dust. Nobody takes him to task if he gets baked in the sun or gets wet. I wish I were a gardener digging away at the garden with nobody to stop me from digging. Just as it gets dark in the evening and my mother sends me to bed, I can see through my open eye window the watchman walking up and down. The lane is dark and lonely, and the street lamp stands like a giant with one red eye in the head. The watchman swings his lantern and walks with his shadow at his side and never once goes to bed in his life. I wish I were a watchman walking the street all night, chasing the shadows with my lantern. So, this is a poem wherein the child wants to take up different occasions, seeing the freedom that person one who is enjoys. Because you small children, you need to have lot of discipline. You have so many conditions at home, even in the school also. At home, you have to get up at fixed time. You have to get ready for the school. You have to do all your work. After coming from school also, again you have to sit with your studies. You have to play for some time. You have to watch TV only for some time. You cannot do any work which you like the most, ignoring your studies. First comes studies. Studies are important. After that, you are free to do any other work. The child doesn't like all these pressures on him or her. Child doesn't like such pressures. When you are a child, you imagine, every day this study, tests, homework writing, everything. Even we have holidays, we are having online classes. So boring it is, you people feel. But it is the most useful thing in your life, children. It gives you a lot of happiness in future. When you grow up and become something and take up some occasion, then all these efforts work out for you. Understand? For being a hawker, watchman or gardener, you don't need to go to school, or you don't need to go for higher studies, become engineers or doctors. Just like that, without any study also, you can become all other things like hawkers, vendors, sweepers, gardeners, watchmen, etc. So, what the child wishes here, through this poem occasion, Rabindranath Tagore wants to tell you about a child's wish. The child says, when the gong sounds 10 in the morning and I walk to my school by our lane, every day I meet the hawker crying bangles, crystal bangles. The child says, when the gong sounds 10, gong means a round big plate where with one big stick with something, they will ring the bell. It is called gong, where is a big sound you get. It is called a gong. When the gong sounds 10 o'clock and the child gets ready to go to school and he walks by his lane, by his gully, by his road, he could see the hawker crying bangles, crystal bangles, gajulamma, gajulu, he shouts like that in English. There is nothing to hurry him. This guy, hawker, he has no worries. He don't need to maintain any timing. For example, you have school timing 8:50 to 4 o'clock. Till before 8:50 also you are not supposed to come. At 8 o'clock you are not supposed to come, or you can go at 5 or 3. You are not free to do all these things. You have fixed time. If you are late by some minutes also, you will get the punishment. But for hawker, he doesn't have such time limit. He can do any work on his own wish, మర్జీ, ఇష్టం, ఆయన ఇష్ట ప్రకారం ఆయన చేసుకోవచ్చు. So he can shout. So seeing the hawker shouting to sell the bangles, the boy thinks there is nothing to hurry him on. There is no road he must take, no place he must go to, no time when he must come back home. I wish I were a hawker, spending my day in the road, crying bangles, crystal bangles. So the child thinks this hawker doesn't have any time limits. He need not go to the fixed road, fixed lane, anywhere. ఈరోజు నల్లకుంట రావాలనుకుంటే నల్లకుంటకు వస్తాడు, రేపు పైన శంకర్మఠ సైడ్ వెళ్ళాలంటే వెళ్ళొచ్చు, ఆయన ఇష్టం, హిజ్ ఓన్ విష్. ఓకే, సో హియర్ ద hawker does not need to maintain any time, fixed time. He can fix his own time on his own wish. Nobody can stop him. Why you are so late? Why you are early? Nobody will ask him. Nobody can question him. It is his own timetable he can follow. Understand? And he doesn't have any particular time to come back home also. As you are having time, 4 o'clock you will leave for home from the school. If you are late by 5 minutes also, mother worries why my child did not come. It's not like that. If he feels hungry, he can leave this work and go home, eat his food, take some rest, and again he can go. That's the way. That's why the child wants to become a hawker, because he need not follow any fixed timings. When at 4 in the afternoon I come back from the school, I can see through the gate of that house the gardener digging the ground. He does what he likes with his spade. He soils his clothes with dust. Nobody takes him to task. If he gets baked in the sun or gets wet, I wish I were a gardener digging away at the garden with nobody to stop me from digging. When the child comes back home at 4 o'clock, he could see at the gate opposite his house. What could he see? The gardener digging the ground and taking out the mud. And his soiling his clothes means dirtying, his clothes becoming dirty. And so, hey, why did you spoil your clothes? Like that nobody can punish him, because his work is like that. He works in the soil, so his clothes get spoiled. And even he works in the hot sun or in the cold wind, rainy season, when it is raining, then also nobody can punish him or nobody can give him any reward or award. It is the one who appointed, wanted him to do the work, complete the work, that's it. So there is no force for him to do, when to do and why to do. Any time, according to his own timing, he can follow and do the work. That's why the child here wants to become a gardener, so that nobody can stop him from digging the earth, and nobody can stop him from digging the ground, so that he wants to become. Or else now you go from school, you start playing with some soil and all. Mummy says, no, come on, don't waste your time, do the homework, don't get your clothes dirty, come on. But for gardener, nobody can tell like that, because it is his work like that. So he wanted to escape from these scoldings and wanted to become the gardener, so that he can dig the ground, he can soil his clothes. Soil his clothes means spoil his clothes, dirty his clothes, then nobody can talk anything. Then in third case, he wants to become the watchman. Why? Let us see. Just as it gets dark in the evening and my mother sends me to bed, I can see through my open window the watchman walking up and down. So after everything is over, mother sends him to his bed. Then through his window he sees some watchman moving up to and fro, here and there. Understand, he is walking down the road. The lane is dark and lonely, and the street lamp stands like a giant with one red eye in its head. The watchman swings his lantern and walks with his shadow at his side and never once goes to bed in his life. I wish I were a watchman walking the street all night, chasing the shadows with my lantern. So he could see the watchman moving all along the road for the whole night. He never sleeps. He will have a lantern battery in his hand in which he can follow his shadow. So the child also wants to be free from all the pressure of studies, all the pressure of discipline, maintenance of timing. That's why he here wants to become the watchman, wanted to see if you will have some fixed time to watch the TV also. Now, if it is 10 o'clock, mommy says, come on, go to bed. They don't allow you to watch the TV till 12 o'clock, midnight, like that. So, here, the child need not follow any timings. He can walk along the road following his shadow for the whole of what? Whole of night. He can keep himself awake. Nobody can stop. That is how to escape from the fixed timing, discipline, pressure of study. The child wants to become different, take up different occupations. First he wants to become a hawker because hawker cannot follow any timings. He can go by his own wish. He can come back home with his own wish. Nobody can stop. In the second case, he wants to become the gardener because here he can dig the earth and play with the soil. Nobody can stop him. In third case, he wants to become the watchman because he can keep awake the whole night following his shadow. This is how the child wants to escape from the given work and wants to become something in his life where he need not follow any timings, fixed timings or discipline or rules. Understand? But discipline, following timings and following rules are the part of our life. Without rules and discipline, our life is meaningless. So, we need to get educated, we need to go to school, we need to study and become something big in our life. For that, school is important, study is important. So, don't think like this boy becoming a hawker, becoming a gardener or becoming a watchman, such thing. Okay? This is all about the poem. Tomorrow, now once again I read and I want you people to write this poem one time in your notebook. After every 8 lines, you leave a line and write. Every 8 lines you are writing on a separate page. That is good for you. You need 3 sides. One page, first 8 lines. Second page, second 8 line. Back side, next 8 line. Once again, I read the poem and stop here. Please, you do read and write the poem. For exam purpose, you are reading first 8 lines, learning purpose. First 8 lines for learning purpose. So once again I read. Please you also look into your books and read. Page number 82. When the gong sounds 10 in the morning and I walk to school by our lane, every day I meet the hawker crying, bangles, crystal bangles. There is nothing to hurry him on. There is no road he must take, no place he must go on to, no time when he must come home. I wish I were a hawker spending my day in the road crying bangles, crystal bangles. When at 4 in the afternoon I come back from the school, I can see through the gate of that house the gardener digging the ground. He does what he likes with his spade and soils his clothes with dust. Nobody takes him to task. if he gets baked in the sun or gets wet. I wish I were a gardener digging away at the garden with nobody to stop me from digging. Just as it gets dark, means when it becomes night in the evening and my mother sends me to bed, I can see some through I can see through my open window the watchman walking up and down. The lane is dark and lonely, and the street lamp stands like a giant with one red eye in its head. The watchman swings his lantern and walks with his shadow at his side and never once goes to bed in his life. I wish I were a watchman walking the street all night, chasing the shadow with my lantern. So, tomorrow once again I will read and I will start social studies. What you are supposed to do? You are writing the poem one time. 8 lines you write and leave the page. Next 8 lines on next. అంటే బ్యాంగిల్ హాకర్ గురించి 8 lines one page. Gardener గురించి 8 lines another page. And watchman, about watchman, next 8 lines. But you are learning first 8 lines for exam or any test. So here we stop. Thank you, children.